In Japan, I would say Kyushu is a treasure chest for holiday-themed trains. Every corner of the island is an experience. From the A train in Kumamoto, to the 2 stars in Nagasaki, to the Yufui no Mori in Oita. You don't have to go far to make your next memories. I made my way to Kagoshima, where up for today is the wonderful Ibutama.
Good morning and welcome to another video. We're back in Kyushu, a lovely area of Japan, and it's time to experience another one of JR Kyushu's themed trains. We're in Kagoshima in the south, and up for today is the Ibusuki no Tamatebako. On days the train runs, there's 3 round trips, and we book a ticket for train number 3, which is the second outbound trip, departing at 11:56. Over the years, we've experienced many of these JR group themed trains, and each are done extremely well, and I'm sure today is going to be no different. So come along as we go from A to B, and let's experience the train along with the sights and food to match.
We begin on an overcast but fair day at Kagoshima Chuo Station. Not to be confused with Kagoshima Station, which is a smaller stop a little north from here. This is the main station in the prefecture capital and also the southern terminus of Japan Rail's Shinkansen network. And although in theory you could travel by Shinkansen from here to Hokkaido, it would still take a long time and perhaps a future video idea. Outside the station, you can connect with a streetcar, which by the way has grass lining the entire network, and thus Kagoshima has Japan's only streetcar lawnmower. The more you know. One thing that stood out during my time here are the wonderful bakeries, and this one in the station was a highlight of this trip. Anything with chocolate, and I'm sold. We enter the gates for the local train, and we see that our train is leaving from track 3. Trackside is fairly utilitarian and not terribly large, so there is no need to jump in overly early. Should you arrive with some time, you can try and find the Shinkansen poking out from the tracks above. As the train arrives, I should take a moment to highlight that the rule is to stand behind the yellow line, not on or in front. Besides being a safety issue, it also blocks my view. Not cool. Let's all enjoy the train, but do so safely. Here's our wonderful 2-car Ibusuki no Tamatebako, or Ibutama, pulling into the station after completing its first round trip of the day. Once the train arrives, the cleaning staff will board first to prepare for the next trip. One aspect of the train, by the way, is the steam which is emitted from the doors at the station. In the meantime, I took footage of the train's exterior. Its design is composed of 2 colors, black on one side and an off-white cream color on the other. The door opens about 10 minutes before departure, and you can see the assembly above the door, which emits the steam we saw earlier. We quickly take our seat in the second car, and then we make our timely departure. And as we get underway, I'll take this moment to welcome you viewers to the channel, and I invite you to subscribe for continued travel and aviation related content, where you can check out the 2 stars 4047, another wonderful train by JR Kyushu out over in Nagasaki. Definitely check it out. The Ibutama is one of the shorter resort trains in Kyushu with a travel time of just 52 minutes. We'll travel south following the coast, and unlike many other trains, there are no intermediate stops along the way. With less than an hour to go, there's no time to lose, and it's time for lunch. I pre-purchased the bento for this trip and was provided with it soon after departing. Let's see what we have inside. Looks great, doesn't it? Wow, everything is laid out nicely. The bento is prepared with regional ingredients and showcases some of the tastes of the prefecture. We have a variety of onigiris, smoked kanpachi, amberjack I think it's called, omelets, breaded pork, and so on. I put each item's name on the screen so you can see what I'm digging into. As you can imagine, everything tasted fantastic and was fresh. The eel onigiri is the one that stood out to me, and the breaded pork, well, how can you go wrong with that? The colors were bright and exciting, lovely. To go with the meal, I got a Kagoshima highball. Now, normally, a highball in Japan is a whiskey soda cocktail, but here in Kagoshima, it's made with shochu, which I guess is not a taste for everyone. Maybe a little lemon would help soften the edges, but it was a pretty strong drink. Nonetheless, this was a wonderful bento. Even the box was so nicely constructed, I kind of felt bad for just throwing it away afterwards. After lunch, it's time to turn our attention outside and to relax, enjoy some of the sights, and try to finish that highball. The Ibutama is a 2-car DMU, or diesel multiple unit, with a wonderful spacious wooden interior. Car 2 is partially composed of these counter-style seating, and the only thing that is overlooked on this trip is the ocean. These were my seats of choice, but unfortunately they were sold out when I booked my tickets. Perhaps the second best seats are these sofa style, seat 19 and 20 A and B, which also face the ocean in a comfy constructed nook in the middle of the car. There's also 14 coach style paired seats, which is what we enjoyed today, and they're nice, cushioned, and comfortable with a blue and green designed fabric. Seat back you'll find a couple coat hooks and a small pocket. The seats provide a slight recline, and the table is stored in the center armrest. There are no power outlets on board, so a power bank isn't a bad idea. The end of the car provides an area for all passengers to enjoy, including this little Chesterfield, and there's a few seats for even the youngest of train enthusiasts. Throughout the car you'll find some overhead storage, and the interior is nicely decorated with aquatic illustrations and soft lighting. Moving to the front of the car is car 1 on the outbound trips, and it has a darker profile where all seats are in 2-2 seating configuration. The seats are designed slightly different from car 2, but they were equally as comfortable. This car was also fairly empty, which I was surprised. I like the ambience more of this car, and it would be my suggested car if you find yourself booking a trip. To complement the earthy tones, the interior is also decorated with more wonderful artwork as well. In the center is where you'll find the seating, which anyone can enjoy like the previous car, and it also faces the ocean. And like all JR Kyushu trains, you'll find a stamp station for a little memento of your trip. How does it look? Car 1 is also where you'll find the one washroom. It was a lot bigger than I would expect for a train like this, and it was clean and contains everything you may need. Beside it is the galley, which holds the bentos and where the attendants work, so I didn't film it. The train does offer onboard sales, such as the highball earlier, but there's also some sweets, sandwiches, and other drinks. Back in car 2, let's talk how you can enjoy this train yourself. And this really comes down to, well, if you live in Japan or not. If you live in Japan like myself, you'll want to head over to the JR Kyushu website and then buy a ticket like any other train. It will require that you make an account, but it's easy enough. If you're visiting Japan, it would depend on whether you have a rail pass or not, and the train can also be purchased through Klook. Since all seats on this train are reserved, there may be an added fee for the seat. In any event, the website appears easy to use, and I had no problem procuring a ticket. The bento, which I enjoyed earlier, is purchased separately and can be purchased up to 3 days before your departure date. The website makes it easy, just follow the prompts. And less than an hour later, we reached the small town of Ibusuki. By the way, Tamatebako translates into like a treasure chest, so the train's name translates to Ibusuki's treasure chest. Regardless of the name, this is another fantastic product, and it's something easy to do in the afternoon or in the morning. With 3 round trips per day, you have a bit of leeway in how you construct your trip. Everything is done very well, from the delicious and beautifully presented bento to the train's interior, and the staff of course deserves props for their hard work. At 12:48, we arrive. The cost of this trip came out to 5,150 yen, which includes 1,500 yen for the bento and 700 yen for the highball. Once outside, we can see the other side of the train, and it's designed as nicely as the other side. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the ibusukinotamatebako, and I'll catch you in the next video. Still there, eh? Yep, so am I. And I got something a little special for you. After jumping back in the station and catching a local train and headed south, fast forward about 20 minutes, we arrive at Nishioyama Station, the most southern station in Japan. Wow! I visited now the most southern and the most northern, so I got 2 more to go. This area is very remote, trains are far and few between, but the area is wonderful on a nice day, and we actually walked all the way to the base of the extinct volcano, Mount Kaimon, which last erupted in the 9th century. And after a few hours, we boarded the local train and headed back to Kagoshima. It makes for a great day.